Mike. Hi, Ryan. Yep, I just fired up a truck in the shop, so it's all good. Okay, thank you very much. Yep, bye-bye. My Peterbilt set off the smoke alarm. They thought my shop was on fire. Hey guys, well, it's probably gonna be one of the last cooler days of the year for me, I think. So what I end up doing, I gotta grab something here. What I'm doing today is, since the ground is kind of firm and everything had been getting mushy and the price of metal is up, I have a huge pile of scrap metal in the back that I want to try to get out as much as I can and get it hauled to the metal place. So that's what we're gonna do today. If I can find all my stuff, I'll take you with me. There it is. Here we go. Let's go load some metal. I think that's gonna be my last trip of the day. I almost didn't make it out of there here, so it's only gonna get worse as the day warms up a little bit. So I think this is gonna be my last trip. Not as smooth as the beach or the Kenworth, but a lot of dirt. Well, one of my hashtags that I always put on my videos is hashtag make old stuff work, because I have a really severe aversion to buying anything new, and I always, say, why do I have to buy something new when I can make something old work just as much and make the same money or do the same thing that the new thing's going to do? The problem with making old stuff work is you constantly have to make old stuff work. So case in point is the hub on the Peterbilt. One time, you fix something and something breaks, and you fix something breaks. That's part of the mystique of old stuff, I guess, too, because I mean, deep down I like working on it. I don't like having to work on things, but I like working on things. So I have my 97 Ford, my Sterling Ford, I call it. It's a Ford, but it's a Sterling. Never mind, it's got an identity issue. But so I'm driving into town, and I'm going to haul the metal off, and I smell something like brakes burning. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if that semi up ahead of me's got his brakes burning. And he turns off, and I keep going down the road. I still smell it. It smells just like brakes stuck on. So I get out and I smell all my wheels. None of them are sticking. Get back in, I still smell it, and I'm like, I wonder if it's not an electrical issue or something. Something's burning up in here. And so I go to, just, switches and everything like that, and I go to hit my blower motor switch, and the handle just twists right off of it, and it's just hot. So blower motor switch went bad in this thing, so wouldn't pick that up. So we got to get that fixed real quick so I can call a little more metal tomorrow. Since I'm waiting on parts for the Peterbilt, they should be here in a few days. Since I'm waiting for that, might as well get all these little things done that I need to get done. Otherwise, I'll never get to them. So I'll pull this all apart and we'll get that switch switched out. The nice thing about this truck is everything that fits on an F-150 Ford fits on this thing, as far as like heater controls, blower motors, all that kind of stuff. So I just went and picked up, instead of going to the dealer and trying to give them the last 6 digits of my VIN, and because this was the 1 year Ford made this truck, they don't ever recognize it, and yeah, whatever. I went over this many times in my videos. It frustrates me that Ford doesn't recognize this truck and Sterling doesn't recognize this truck. But anyways, trying to get a part through them is almost impossible. So it's the same exact switch panel as the Ford F-150, except for this, because this is all air operated. But everything else is all the same as Ford F-150. So I just went in and got a switch for a Ford F-150, and it should work just fine. I also noticed that when I took it apart earlier, the wire harness was melted, so I went and got a new harness piece for that from Napa as well. So let's get her going and take her apart. Here's the pieces to the switch. As you can see, pretty burnt up inside there. It actually worked until I twisted it the last time and the switch fell off. Here's the connector. Connector's all melted up. So I'm going to, the blower motor's good. I just replaced that last year. at least I think it's good. I don't know. We'll hook all this up, see if it works. I got to put a new connector on here. So we'll hook it all back up and see if it works. If not, it might be the blower motor. I don't know. We'll just throw parts at it. That'll work. And of course, it's not one of the 3 sockets I just brought out. Awesome. Great. I think the best part about this is when I run back and forth for tools, I have to walk through all the mud to get to do it. So at least I got the right socket. If I hadn't got the right socket, I know I had the right size needle nose pliers to take it apart. Anyways, swap the switch out. Ooh, Indac motorcraft part. Indac. One thing I know Indac made was all those keys for every friggin' lawnmower and snowmobile and everything else in the past. Come on now. You better fit. There we go. Ah, mother of pearl. Okay, so let's check out this wire harness. Make sure it's the right one, first of all, before I start cutting wires. Different colors, but that's fine. Okay, well, since I don't want to sit and mess around with cutting it back here and everything like that, I'm literally just going to nip it close here, and we're going to got plenty of wire. I can shove it all in the back there, so not too worried about that. So a few episodes ago, I talked about side cutters, side snips, dikes, nippers, whatever you want to call it. And my favorite reply in the comments, I asked everybody what they called them. My favorite reply in the comments was from, hold on, I gotta pull it up because I had to set this all up. And I think it's what I'm gonna start calling it. It's from Pete. Pete's from Finland. He's a Finlander. Little known fact, if you ask my dad, we're Finnish. If you ask my mom, we're Irish. Anyways, I got some Finnish in me. So, Pete, you're gonna think I'm totally butchering this, but I think it's called a sivulicurit. I don't know. There's some umlauts in there and some lots of K's and V's. Sivulicurit. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna call them from now on. Not really, because I'm never gonna remember those. But let's. Oh my God, my sivulicurates need to be a little stronger. There we go. I'll probably vacuum those up later. Probably not. Come on now. Get a little snort in your hair. A little pinch. There we go. Come on now. You can do this. Come on now. There we go. I was going to have to break out the sivulicurates again to strip these wires off. Well, the smart thing to do would be to just snip these all off and then try to figure out later where they go, but I'm just going to do them one at a time because, well, been there before. Diagonal pliers, because I had to look it up because I wanted to see how to pronounce sivulicurit, and the translation came back as diagonal pliers. So that would be the proper term, which probably is the proper term for what those are called, but I'm going to stick with my little terms. Top left, that would be this black one, which would be ground in a car, but boy, that would be hot in the house, wouldn't it? Let's do the exact opposite of what we do with it. We're doing 12 volts with 120 volts. Let's do exact opposite. So anybody trying to figure that one out in the house that doesn't know any better, they'll go and electrocute themselves. Getting all the dialogue today. Real-time repairs with Northland Mike. Okay, let's shove these up here somewhere. Let's just plug it in and see if it works. Okay, find my little knobber. It's somewhere right here, I think. Didn't get ruined. Feels like it works. Let's try it. Well, here's the other thing. This thing never blew hard. Like, the air never blew out of the vents hard or anything like that. And I changed the motor, the blower motor and everything because I thought maybe that was the problem, and that didn't change anything. Then I thought it was the filters, and I changed them. That didn't change anything. And I always thought in the back of my mind, as a matter of fact, I even think I have one of these switches laying around here somewhere, because I always thought maybe it's that switch up there. Nah, it can't be that switch, because I'm getting 12 volts out to the motor, because I tested all that, but I never checked the amps, never checked any of that stuff. So I'm assuming that switch was bad the whole time, because now this sucker blows like a son of a gun. Sweet. Well, I almost burned my truck up to fix it, but it's fixed. I'll put her back together. I had to let Jasper out, little Aussie dog. Yeah, so let's first things first, I got to get the old hub back on the Peterbilt so I can at least roll the Peterbilt out, so I can get the Kenworth in the shop, because it's a little chilly today. Okay, 90% of being a YouTube star, such as myself, not really a star, 90% of being on YouTube is pulling your shirt down so your butt crack doesn't show on camera. Okay, old hub. I'm not going to put the seal back on. I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to put the bearings back in and throw the hub back on just so I can roll it out. Get it out of the shop. It's not going to go down the road or anything like that. It's just going to probably park over in the pole building and call her good. Yep, that's what I was trying not to do. And like I said, this is a bud wheel, so the nuts on the driver's side are left-hand thread. Just fact there for you, factoid. For you. I'm just going to run this on with the electric impact, I think. I'm not going to hit my head on that door again. Okay, I just have the lug nuts on there snug right now, because like I said, I just want to roll this thing out of the shop so I can get the Kenworth in here and start working on it. Get that so I can get that tarp stuff. I ordered the hub for this thing this week. Should be here early next week, so we'll be able to put that on. I'm still going to talk to some tire guys and see if anybody's had any issues like that in the past where where people were cracking hubs. I got other wheels. I have a feeling it's got to be that wheel. I had a lot of people say it's probably the spacer, because the spacer was cracked. It's cracked right there, you can see. But I just don't see how the spacer could do that, because the spacer is a uniform thickness on both sides, and it's, I mean, if it was super corroded on one side or something like that, you know, if it had, I could see, you know, if it had a huge raised edge or something like that, I could see that this might cause an issue, but I just don't know where this would. So I want to do some looking around before I mess with it. A lot of people have said leave that spacer off of there. I might do that, I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, let's crank this thing up. That's another thing I was kind of surprised about online. All the comments that I had on Facebook when I posted this video, or the last video, the ether video, and had a number of people say that I was gonna make my motor addicted to ether and that their engines start down to single digits and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure they do, and I'm glad that do that. But I've owned a lot of different diesel engines over the years. Some of them have needed ether, some of them have started just fine. That grader, like I said, that grader will start down to 30 below with a little shot of ether. Without the ether, it's not going to do it. But anytime it's, yeah, in the teens, that thing will start right up with no ether, no problem. My John Deere tractor, that needs ether on a 30-degree day or 40-degree day, just because of the compression and everything like that. I'm sure there's some 855s out there that start great, and there's some 855s that don't. So some smoke and some don't, and some, I mean, they're all different. So yeah, got a lot of comments about that, but this one needs ether. That's just the way it is. You guys have seen me try to start this thing many times and crank and crank and crank on it. And yes, I've played with stepping on the foot feed and all that kind of stuff while we're doing it, and it helps a little bit, but it still doesn't crank right away. Rather than running on that starter, I'm gonna just bump the ether a little bit and just help this thing heat up a little bit. So there we go. Let's crank it up and let's get it out of here. Maybe this thing needs ether because it sat for so long and all that stuff too. I don't know. It seems that Simply Safe's gonna call me now. Yep. There's the text message from Simply Safe. And that's how long it takes for Simply Safe to call. This mic. Hi, Ryan. Yep, I just fired up a truck in the shop, so it's all good. Okay, thank you very much. Yep, bye-bye. My Peterbilt set off the smoke alarm. They thought my shop was on fire. But here's another thing. Simply Safe, not a sponsor by any means, but another company that I'm like super impressed with. Super great customer service. The products are awesome. Anytime I get a trip on my alarm, they call me within 15 seconds. I mean, it's insane. It's a really good system, pretty affordable too, so if you get a chance to do that, take a look at those systems too. And Simply Safe, if you're watching, love your stuff. And I'm just a squirrel out here trying to get a nut. You know what I mean? Got everything moved around. I'm gonna try to get going on this. I gotta go get my boy though and try to get dinner started and be the worldly husband that I am to my wife. So we're gonna have some steak tips tonight. Yeah, come on over. Well, this should be firm enough for one, maybe two loads, depending how long the morning stays cool. Like I said, I gotta go get a haircut, so that's gonna take up a bunch of my time, but it's supposed to freeze hard tomorrow night, so I should be able to hopefully wrap up this metal pile tomorrow and get it out of here. Then onto that concrete pile and all this other stuff. Cold starting a skid steer isn't half as bad. So another cold start for this thing. Like I said, this thing is the coolest cold starting truck in the world. Little C10 cat. Wasn't as dramatic. Usually that thing's a pretty big drama queen when it starts. It's just knock, 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 knock. I promise that's how it goes. So I got all the small metal cleaned up. I got the last load on the dump truck there. But I have a couple junk cars I want to get rid of. This 88 Chevy pickup here. There's like an 85 or 84 Buick, or Oldsmobile back there. Notorious Oldsmobile Buick sitting back there. I got to get them up on this trailer. So we're going to see if the old 333 can lift them. We'll find out, I guess. Tomorrow I'm going to crank out the switch on that, and I'll show you the trailer, the tarp on that. At some point I have to put a quick down kit on that trailer so the fluid drains back and it comes down faster. I also noticed I'm a little low on fluid, but I think some of that leaked out of the trailer when I took a hose off. So that's where we're at right now. So like I said, when we're waiting on parts, we try to find whatever else we can do to fill up the time. So I appreciate everybody watching. The channel's starting to take off again. I really appreciate that. Let me know what you think about the channel. Go ahead and leave some comments. Make sure you hit like if you like it. If you don't like it, well, you can hit the thumbs down. I'd rather you didn't, but yeah, just let me know and maybe I can change it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. God bless. See ya.